Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's One Funny Morning. I'm Dana Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday. Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever.
That's called
our small
murder
town.
in New Jersey.
He was a lot
Like what is?
with his everything.
Oh,
What's outside your Puerta de Clima?
that's Stellan!
Yeah!
Good morning, OFMers. It's Junior from Illinois, hosting our first, maybe annual Midwestish chapter campout on my property. I'm representing Illinois. Barb, your turn.
Barb from Indiana.
Kelly from Illinois.
Sue from Illinois.
Stacy from Ohio.
Monica from Ohio.
Teresa from Iowa.
Uppy, uppy, uppy. Take it away, Dina.
I love it. Look at these ladies. I loved it. It was like a family portrait, and then Barb made it weird. Love Barb. How is everybody? I so late today, but I got a lot of reasons, so it's okay. This is my face. Oh, good morning. Good morning. How is everybody? Ray of sunshine. Good morning. It's a bit of a day. Let's just start there. Let's get some fresh air. How about that? Let's just do it. Good morning, TikTok. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I need fresh air. And I'm sure I'm going to be saying I'm freezing in about 2 seconds, but I don't care. Good morning, Jamie. Yes, it's a shore day. Basically, Wednesday is trash day down here. So I have to come down, take the trash out, and then get it ready because I have another renter coming in. So yeah, Cookie. I know so many locations. I was going to call out today because I think my brain is just done, but I didn't. I just showed up basically tomorrow. I'm early for tomorrow's show is the way that I like to think about it. Am I 45 minutes late or am I really early for tomorrow? What's happening? What's that? Okay, that's not a normal sound. We're on remote learn today due to flooding here in New Mexico. Are they supposed to be coming up? I don't know. I had to take a hiatus from social media, reset my addiction, catching up on your shows. You have a boyfriend now. Have we met him? Oh, Steph, I'm glad you could make it. That's not our stuff, hoop stuff, a different stuff. But all Stephs are welcome. I don't think I've ever met a Stephanie I didn't like. Let me just say that. Yes, there is a fella. His name is Jason. Morning from frosty Saskatoon. Yes, it is. It's kind of beautiful down here, I would say. Still, this particular plant is out of control. It needs to be dealt with today, but whatever. So good morning, girls. It's Wednesday. And if you wanted to spend some quality time with Diana, you should, if you missed it, go back and watch Tipsy Tuesday. I had no idea. Good morning, Jürgen. I had no idea that Diana was such... Jürgen, do you guys have drive-in movies in Bruges, also known as passion pits? Yeah, if you missed Tipsy Tuesday, let me bring you up to date. We were having a trivia thing last night with my mom and aunt, who are both 77 plus. Talking about what was the name of the drive-in movie theaters. I know, Missy. And apparently they were called passion pits. I don't know if they have these in Bruges, but let me just unpack it for you. Jurgen, when I was a youngin', instead of going to a movie theater to watch a movie, you'd all pile in the car like a station wagon. Oh, and if you had that seat that faced the back, you were the coolest people ever. You pile into a car, and if you want to pay for 3 people, then you put the rest of the people in the trunk. That's what my mom did. Now she's going to pretend it's a drive-in, yes, but it's called a passion pit because that's how everybody was having all the babies. So here's my mom. So Jurgen, you know how they have more like bucket seats? Dinah don't want to know nothing about no bucket seats. Diana, she says it's the ruin of society. Bucket seats have ruined society. This is what an old hussy says. And she said, no. And they put that console in, and now you can't cuddle with nobody. I go, I don't know who you're trying to cuddle with that you're so upset about it. And then she went into great detail about drive-in theaters. She knew too much. You know what I'm saying? Look at my face. Then I found out last night, my mom's got a lazy eyelid. Now, I've heard of a lazy eye, right? And this one's just doing whatever it wants. That's not what she has. I've been noticing. Now, I think everybody's got like one eye is bigger than the other, like a boob. Sorry, fellas, if you didn't know that. You should. But her eye, I think it's her left eye, just seems to be smaller, also known as amaretto eye. Now, she says, so like if she was looking at me, it would be like that. And I just been noticing lately that it's becoming more and more noticeable. So, I wanted to speak to her in private, so I brought it up on Tipsy Tuesday. And I says, what's going on with your eye? Because I wanted to be sensitive. And I said, what's going on with your eye? And she says, oh, it's lazy. I said, you got a lazy eye? She goes, no, droopy. It's droopy. I didn't know that eyelids just randomly gave out. That's like placentas. I'm going real deep. Yeah, when I was having Dean, they were like, we have to induce you because your placenta's gone bad. And I go, I didn't know that they had an expiration. Diana would. She would have put masking tape on it, but I didn't know. I think I just made it just in time because here come the trash guys. I literally pulled up to this house, I'm grabbing trash cans, and I'm screaming, pulling them towards the curb. I did it. I made it. Here they come. Anyway, then she says, it really just gets like this. It gets squinty when I'm tired or I drink. Oh, yeah. Look who made it. Thank you. Have a good one. Good morning. I just want to say how impressed I am. She will need a blackagorplasty. Blatharoplasty. That's what I'm going to tell her. I'm going to spit in her face and say, that's from Judy. The more tired I am, the more it droops. My eyelids went droopy in my 50s. What are we talking about? Do men get droopy eyes? Or is it just from all the eyeshadow? Men, there's a lot. Let me just put this out. All the ladies are on Facebook. All the men are on TikTok. Men, do you guys get droopy eyes or do you just not care? Or like if one droops, you're like, I'm just going to let the other one go. And then you're just like real squinty like Clint Eastwood. Oh, maybe that's why Clint Eastwood had droopy eyes. Yep. Droopy eyelid is the lid. I was just waiting to see how I'm going to just spit on her. Judy, nobody can pronounce that. My husband's step-grandfather had the surgery to lift the eyelid. My lids have always been droopy. Hooded. See, I've heard of hooded before. Oh, no, they don't do that. We do. After a couple of years, they start looking like window blinders. So, yeah, we need them too. Oh, Jurgen says the men get it. My dad had an operation. It's hereditary. Rhoda, why would you say that when I just said that my mom had it? You guys, it's happening. Yeah, hooded sounds more mysterious than droopy. And she came out of the closet with her hooded eyelids. Womp womp. Womp womp. So, just droopy things. I mean, I guess if you have to pick something to droop. I mean, if you had your druthers. There you go, Judy. There's a word, druthers. If you had your druthers, what would you choose to droop? Oh boy, it's too much. Yeah, like it's definitely hereditary, like bad teeth. It's the worst. What was Diana saying the other day? She said she was gonna buy something special for herself. I forget what it was. A leg? I don't know. She was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy it. I said, well, why you at? Why don't you buy a back tooth? She refuses to buy the back tooth. Did you ever just listen to the conversations you have with your parents at this age? Does anybody? I don't know what she said, but she was like, I think I'm going to buy myself this thing. I said, well, could you maybe buy yourself a tooth? I'll buy you a tooth. Maybe we could do a GoFundMe. Teeth are expensive. I'm just going to say it. You go one sexy eye. She got like 4 teeth left. Yeah. Droopy eyes are of the ilk. And if they had their druthers. Yeah, I don't want to buy my teeth back either. When did teeth get to be so expensive? Yeah, you gotta just, you know how when you have a kid, they'll say, listen, you got to put money away from for their 529 for college. Like they should just be like, let's be real specific. We'll put money away for 529 and one for teeth for when you're old, because that is one thing that's gonna be hard. So now when she eats, she's like a rabbit, and she just like that. Yeah, so expensive. So expensive. They're going to just start selling them on the dark web. I got a molar over here. It's been through some shit, but it's still got life, like an old Honda Accord. It's so okay. Did I have coffee? What's happening? I don't even know what I'm saying. Honestly, I think I'm so tired. All of Europe goes to Croatia for their teeth. Why? What's in Croatia? What? Jurgen, third of the price of most other countries, but same quality. How did they find this out that the Croatians got the best deal on teeth? Listen, I don't want to brag, but there's not a lot of social channels where you're going to get this kind of great tooth information. We have people on the ground in Europe working around the clock, it's Jurgen, to find the best teeth for you and your family. Look, here's Melanie. You're welcome. I'm Croatian. From my people to yours. And she has a necklace on, just made of teeth. It is. It's like when people go to Mexico for the Brazilian butt lift. It's like that, but it's teeth and it's in Croatia. You're welcome. Yeah, so you're going to have one amaretto eye, a Croatian tooth. It's the whole thing. Diana is so worldly now. My dad went to Costa Rica and had his teeth done. Is everybody flying out of the country? That's what BBL. Oh, Brazilian butt lift. Oh, Jurgen, but listen, this is a foreign exchange program. I got to educate you on what we can offer. Well, it's really Mexico, but on what we know. Yeah, it's a well-rounded show. Our next trip is to Croatia. You know how I'm like, everybody gets new underwear. Same concept, but it's teeth. Guys, we're going on a teeth trip to Croatia. Melanie's our leader. Cooley, it's always pants off for a mammogram. Yeah. all kinds of stuff medically internationally. I know someone who had a bariatric surgery in Mexico, a nose job in Turkey, and I'm here in the US looking rough. It's sad when it's cheaper to fly out of the country to get dental or medical care. I know. I brought my teeth in Oklahoma. Who am I? I don't know, Amber. I do not think that was a good idea. I leave for a few minutes. I come back. We're talking about Croatian teeth on the hot market. That's exactly what's happening. I have implants. It was not fun. I could have bought a new car. And you don't mean implants. You mean implant. Different kind. Have you guys seen that Pamela Anderson has decided no more makeup ever in the history of ever? She was just on, the cleaners are here. She was just on Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore had no makeup on. She had no makeup on. And she was like, I'm done now. My face is done. I'm not doing it. And she's beautiful. She's beautiful. And you're just like, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's Pam Anderson. Maybe you could do that because you're Pamela Anderson. I thought, yeah, I think she looks beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see more. You know who's beautiful? I thought she was beautiful when she was a youngin'. But I think she's still beautiful is her name just left. Andie MacDowell. Did you see Andie MacDowell? Maybe it's because she got the curly hair. She's letting the gray in. I'm like, guys, she is gorgeous. Like, let me just pick somebody that I'm trying to turn into and just tell you how gorgeous she is. I just realized I was about to describe. Guys, she got really curly hair and the gray came in. I'm like, no, that's me. That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to assimilate. She does not have an amaretto eye yet, though. And that's why no one's noticed. I think that Valerie Bertinelli wasn't wearing makeup either. Oh, was she on the show too? Yeah. Yeah. Maggie Q is beautiful too. I don't know who Maggie Q is. Yeah, it's so interesting. So anyway, so yesterday, so I was up all night with a crying, throw-uppy dog, which is why I'm a little bit out of it today. Plus, I might have spent the majority of my day at the hospital yesterday. I'm fine. But here at OneFunnyMother, we have a member of our team who got some stuff on her plate right now. And that is Chris Kermsey. She said, I'm allowed to tell you because she's looking for prayers. Dare I say, you could send some cards if you like to our P.O. box. Maybe Andrea can put the P.O. box in. She got some medical things going on. And so right after the morning show, I went over to the hospital. But she's so funny, because she listen, all of us, all women that are busy, which is everyone. She'll send a text and she's like, oh, by the way, she goes, I'm going to make the meeting, but I'm at the hospital at the moment. I got to do this little procedure where they put me under. I was like, So I just wanted to let you know. I go, well, where are you? And, she was at the hospital. And so I said, okay, well then I'm coming up. I'm going to come up right now. Yeah. BNC. So I get up there and she goes, oh, you're going to come up? I said, yeah, I'm going to come up. If that's where you are, that's where I'm coming. I'm coming up. That's where I'm going to go. So, oh yeah, she's very funny. So she goes, oh, that would be great if you came up because then we can finish those reports. I go, we're not, okay, I'm not. She goes, bring your computer. I go, I'm not bringing I did, but not for work. I said, we're not doing work. She goes, well, I just I didn't want to, be late. I said, we're going to be late because we're at the hospital. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, we're talking about the BNC. She got some medical things she's dealing with right now. But if you wanted to send her a card, you can do that. Our P.O. Box is 604. I don't know if Andrea's here today. I can put it in. But 604. But let me tell you the funny thing that happened. Yeah, that's us. So if you'd like to send a card, you can send it here. But it was so funny. So she had apparently gone to the hospital like late the night before. So she had been like up. By the time I get to her, it's like 11 o'clock. Yeah, she's still at the hospital. And by the time I find her, when you get to the hospital and you're like, she was down at the ER, but now she's on what? And then you moved. Okay. So I'm on a scavenger hunt to find BNC, right? So I find her in, dare I say, the VIP room. Now, I don't want to brag here, but the VIP room looks exactly like a hallway, except that somebody has taken, those partition walls? Those partition walls, they're not real. They're just like a trifold wall, but it's made of fabric. It's not real. So they got BNC up against a wall, but then they just put this trifold metal wall next to her. That's what I call the presidential suite. So I see her from down the hall. I go, yo, bougie. Other people were healing, but I didn't care. I was like, yo, bougie. She's like, it's me. I see her from behind. So we get over there. I said, what's up with this weird wall that they like literally just put a table, a bed, and then this trifold. Look real dumb. I said, is this what they do for real special people? She's like, yeah. She goes, I'm just happy I'm not in the ER anymore. So we sat in the hallway for a couple of hours, but there was nothing to do. They hadn't decided what they were going to do yet. So, it's just that weird, we're going to hang out in the hallway. So I end up being there all day. So we move from this room to this room, and you got to be prepped for this, right? Well, throughout the day, like, neither of us planned anything. She wanted to go over finance reports. I said, we're not going to do that. So the only thing left was to chit chat, tell funny stories, or read her some chapters from my dirty book. And so I was like, I don't think I've read her much of anything. Judy, wait till I unpack this. So we're sitting in the middle of this hallway with our partition wall, which is made of cotton. And I'm like, I start reading her some funny chapters and then some dirty chapters. Well, all of a sudden, nurses start stopping by. This lady comes over, right? She just stands there. And so Chris and I are like, hello. So I stopped reading because that's nice. And we're like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you need Chris? She goes, no. What are you reading? And I said, oh, it's from a dirty book. She goes, what's the dirty book called? And I said, I don't know yet. It's my memoir and I'm writing it. And she goes, well, I can't wait to hear what happens at the end of this chapter. Well, this is how our day goes. This is how the rest of the day goes. So they keep moving us, right? From place to place. And we get settled and then there's nothing to do. I go, let me read you another chapter. And so now we finally get into a room and there's like a series of 4 chapters that are really good. You'll know what they are. And, but you won't be able to put it down like right in the middle of it. So people are coming over. So doctors, cardiologists are coming over like, hold on, let me finish this paragraph. Then, so everybody is just, I think I sold like 6 copies of my book yesterday. Now they're not printed, but based just on how the chapters were read. Right, Curly Top? So I was like, wait a minute. I said, you know how they were doing that thing for a while where they were like, we're going to get some dogs to come in and people can pet them and it helps brings people's blood pressure down. And yeah, so Kendra, you got to be admitted to the hospital before I can come and read you the dirty book. Now that doesn't say don't go get hit by a car. So So I said, they've been bringing these dogs in for people to like cuddle with. I said, what they really need is a lady with a slightly calming voice to come sit next to the bed and read a salacious book to you. I'm like, I think I would have a very book schedule. I would be very busy. Uh-huh. It was so funny. I was like, I'll just show up next to people's beds. I'm like, oh, we were on chapter 4. Yeah, exactly. Leave them hanging. I'm gonna do like LeVar did, and like right before the end of the chapter, I'm like, and you'll have to read the rest of the book to find out where Dana's pants went, like that. LeVar's was a little bit different, but it's basically the same concept. So yeah, my book tour will be held at Cooper Hospital. I'll be on the 7th floor OBGYN on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah, you would think so, Belinda, but my service, I didn't know at the time that I was offering these services. Oh yeah, me and the chaplains, very busy, both of us. Like he goes in, prays for their soul, and then I go in and I ruin it. Yeah, my next day at the hospital, I want you to come read to me. No, I had no idea. Yeah, read in hospitals and prisons. Oh, I'd kill in prisons. That was fun. Kill. Yeah. So, but the funny thing is that, so now her husband Lance is there, right? And he's taking care of stuff. He got people to call, people are texting, right? So like Lance was like in the middle of it. Like she got some stuff going on and he's telling people, right? So it's just me, Lance, and her. And so Lance is busy and he's in and out of the room and he's texting people, talking to doctor, da 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 da. So I'm basically the court jester. I've been brought in to keep Chris busy, okay, and just wait till we get some good news, whatever. Well, I am in the middle of this 4-chapter run, which again I think you're gonna really love, but it's like the dirty parts. So I don't know it. Now, listen, I know Lance. I don't know if I want Lance reading my book, especially when it's not edited. Like this is like the raw version of what happened. So I'm next to Chris's bed. I'm like, then he says to me, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm reading, and I was like, and then the clothes came off, right? And I'm reading it. And then I realized that Lance is sitting right behind me, and he's like texting. Well, that's what he looked like he was doing. But I was like, I think he's sitting here. I did. Oh, you don't know how many people I told the Invisalign story to yesterday. I did Chris's whole set at the hospital. People were like, now, are you guys sisters? We look nothing alike. There's nothing remotely. But are you guys sisters? No. And Chris is like, no, she's my, so I work, but I mean, she lives, but we're like best. So I go, how are you going to explain this? I have no idea how you going to explain what we do, whatever. But we met these 2 girls that were kind of in this prep room, and yeah, I'm taking Bill back to the hospital. Come and read to us. Bill's heart couldn't handle it. Mooney. It'd be too much. I'd be like, oh, yeah. I'm sorry. So I don't even think that I don't even think his phone was on. I think he was just sitting here like this, just listening to the dirty parts of the book. I don't know, Ramona. Uh-oh, my computer's not good. Hold on. So it was crazy. And then from there, I went to the concert. From the concert, I went to do Tipsy Tuesday. Then from Tipsy Tuesday, I went home. Then the dog started throwing up. And I was like, I'm calling out today. But I was like, nope, I'm just going to be really late. So it's, yeah, we're soul sisters. Exactly. How you going to be after you see certain people after I know, Mary. I would like us to all pretend I didn't write it. So, especially if there's any dirty parts, I would like you to read them and then immediately forget them. Especially my mom should not read them. Would have just been easier to say, yes, you were sisters, probably Sharon, but then we would have missed that whole uncomfortable part. You're writing a dirty book? I thought it was a regular book. No, Jeremy, nobody buys regular books. What's wrong with you? You're so weird, Jeremy, sometimes. Listen, I don't have any murder in this book. Without murder, does a book even sell? No. So you got to amp up on the dirty parts. They're not that dirty. I'm going to be honest. They're not. I don't want you to think. Yeah. No, she's still there. She's going to be there for a little bit. You'll need a Croatian interpreter for the trip to read to my people. Again, you're welcome. Melanie is really pushing for this Croatian trip. I don't know. She's starting to convince me. Exactly. Like a memory zapper from Men in Black. Molinay. The book is now called Passion Pits. Shakendra, you will forget it. Yeah, we are basically sisters. It's very funny because Chris and I have the kind of relationship where we can look at each other and be like, this is not a good idea. You're not even like, I feel like I can be completely honest with her in the nicest way I can, and vice versa. She's not that nice sometimes. So she's just like, that's ugly, take it off. So I've learned it from her. But yeah, when life starts to get a little crazy, I think it's good and important to have friends like that around. So yeah. If you want me to forget it, you should read it to me while I'm on the good drugs. Done. Yeah, she's gonna be okay. She got some things, some surgery that she's got to kind of get through. So yeah, so prayers obviously are welcome, and if you want to send a card or some well wishes or any of that, you can do that. You can send it to our PO box, and I'll make sure. I thought if we can get some cards, I can put them on her wall for her when she comes home. She will get me coffees in the morning. Yeah, when things were really crazy, she would leave me like a coffee culotta on the bench, and she takes me to the gym. She's like, you got to get up and we're going to go to the gym. You know, that's what I mean. She's that kind of friend. Was like, have you and BNC ever had a spat? Yes, we have. And it's very funny. I think, you know how, like, especially listen, a woman can have a fight with another woman where no words are exchanged. You just be like, you said what? What? And then they'll never talk again. That's definitely on the table. You know what I'm talking about? You have one fight with somebody and you thought you were real close, and all of a sudden you never talk again. That is definitely on the table. And it's unfortunate, and I try to avoid those. But like I'm saying, I think with Chris, we have had arguments, but they're very funny. They're very funny arguments because it's we'll be sitting across the table and she'll be like, I told you this. It was usually about business stuff, right? She'd be like, I told you that this was going to happen. And so instead of, because I was getting mad, instead of going back at her, I'd be like, okay, here's what I heard you say. I heard you say X, Y, and Z. Is that what you said? Because what I'm trying to say to you, and then I would reiterate my part. And then she would say, so what I hear you saying, because most of the time, if we were fighting, it's because both of us are saying the same things, but like in a real different way that it sounds like we're fighting. And it's just very funny. I think that when you are friends with somebody, but you're like, you're actually getting on my nerves, that, you know, if you can choose your words, you're like, I don't like your face. That's first. Two. First of all, I don't like your face. Second of all, yeah, I don't think I like what you're saying. But I think it's just important. is to always keep in mind that, even when people are saying hard things to you, that, they're coming from a place of like, I care about you. I want you to be okay. And I think that that's so important. So yeah, so it was great. I was glad I was there yesterday. And she was just, but oh gosh, we were making friends with all the nurses. A lot of people want to hear the rest of the book. So anyway, yeah, whenever I fight with my bestie, we are so nice about it. I'm like, okay, first of all, your outfit's great. Second, I don't like what you're saying. Yeah. And then other people, like when I fight with Michelle Mooney, it is not at all the same. I'm like, first, you should fix your hair. And second, I don't like how you're talking to me. It's very funny how all your fights with different people. And Stephanie, I mean, we just laugh. Is that your shoulder boob that you're pushing at my face? It's very funny, isn't it? Like the dynamics of different relationships just makes me laugh. Hi, Craig. How are you? Mm-hmm. When he said if I wrote a book, it would be rated double XXX. Really? Now I kind of want you to write a book or at least a chapter summary to peruse. Mm-hmm. Your bestie will tell you the truth, whether it's good or bad, which could cause a fight, but I would rather them be honest. Yeah. Yeah. So it's crazy. So yeah, so I'll be bebopping this weekend, checking on her and the family, and there's a great support system here. And so me and my bestie have not spoken in months. So hard. Oh, Diane, I'm sorry. I have done the thing where I've chased people down even when they don't want to talk to me. And I'm not ashamed to say that I have stalked a person who is refusing to talk to me. And especially if it's somebody worth it. I can't say that it's always been reciprocated. This is a weird question, but I think it's just kind of this weird fun fact. I don't know if it's a fun fact, but I've had those situations, Diane, where I've had like really close friends, and for whatever reason, you just stop talking, and I was left on a few occasions just kind of dumbfounded. I'm like, did something happen? Only years later to find out that in both instances, it was a 10-step situation because they called to do the amends call. And I probably have had a 10-step call like 3 or 4 times in my life. Has anybody gotten a 10-step call from someone? In my family, we have people who have struggled with addiction. And so I'm familiar with it from that perspective of, knowing an addict. But I was very young when I was seeing it. Yes. So like I've had, at least 4 times people call, and the first time it happened, I didn't know what it was. And they were like, I have to call all the people. And then I think that, I've gotten 2 10 steps call. I don't know what that is. What is a 10 step? Forget my internet. So Donna, in AA, there's like the 10 steps to sobriety. And if somebody knows this and can speak more familiarly about it, you can feel free to correct me. But part of the 10 steps program, it's like accepting that I can't, 12 steps. Sorry. I was thinking it was like 12 days of Christmas. It's not that long. It's 12 steps, not 10. Thank you, Kimber. 12. Yeah. I thought one of them was like eat ice cream. I was like, don't do that. We're watching our week. So it's 12 steps. But one of the steps is you have to call and you have to make amends. And And so people will call and say, you know, I think I did this to you. And it's part about like taking ownership for things. And so, yeah, like 4 times in my life, I've gotten 12-step calls. Sorry. Yeah. Because she asked me to be husband, and I wasn't. I still contact her. She's my sister by choice. I'm not ready. I know. Anne Marie, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, one of the steps is coming clean with those you have wronged. My bestie and I didn't talk for a month. A mutual guy friend came to my said, you get in car, took me to her house, and then said, figure this out. Yeah. I had that happen with a friend who ghosted me. When I asked if I did anything, she said it was her. She was having some life struggles. We reconnected, and now it's happening again. Unfortunately, I'm done. It's sad because I love her. Amends is step 9. Thanks, Edward. Mm-hmm. Oh, that is the 10th step? I don't know. Edward and Jessica. It's either 9 or 10. Good morning, Jay. Yes. There's a lot of hussies on the loose, and today's hussie's name is Diana. And sometimes you never get the call and it's too late. Yeah. 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 I think it's kind of a beautiful moment when people call. Not necessarily for me. Like I didn't even know that I don't know, was still with them, that they had done or said something to me. But I think it's really beautiful for the person to be at a place where, they're getting help and they're, kind of owning. Step 8 is amends. My boyfriend teaches it, Renee said. I'm in recovery. It's the 9th step. Listen, it's somewhere in the middle. I haven't spoken to a friend in 12 years. I have a lot of attempts to connect. I finally got the reason a couple of my own, we are trying to rebuild. Yeah. And I think it's hard. You think about it, whether it's a marriage, right? Like so many people are married and, when it comes to divorce, and people say we just kind of grew apart, when who you were at 20 and who you are at 50 can be starkly different people. And you hope that you can each be kind of growing and still be honoring your relationship and honoring each other and respecting each other and all of that. It just doesn't always happen that way. But the same holds true for friendships. My friend of 30 years decided she wasn't going to be in our lunch group anymore. She also told us not to call her. We have no idea why she left our group. Yeah. Yeah. My mom was a raging alcoholic my entire childhood. She found her sobriety when I was pregnant with my first child. She never made amends, but we healed our relationship. Yeah, that's beautiful. Do the steps have to happen in a certain order? I can't speak with confidence on that, Patty, but I believe so. And again, if somebody wants to correct me. My former bestie won't talk to me. Even at her mom's funeral, she literally turned her back. I have no idea what the reason is. Yeah, I think that's the bad part. I've been divorced for 35 years. My ex-husband has been making amends for about 30 years to me. We are great friends now. Wow, Lori. This is my 20th year working the steps, said Edward. Edward, congratulations. My bestie in college got married and our relationship grew apart. I miss it so much. 8 is to become willing. 9 is to make amends. People don't say things to keep the peace, but it's also keeps tension, and that's not good either. Step 10 is to continue to take personal inventory, and when you're wrong, admit to it. Yeah. Yeah. Some people are not meant to stay in your life forever. They give you what you need at the time, and then they leave. And I do believe that. I'm starting a 12 ramps program for people like me with disabilities. What does that mean, Tim? 12 ramps. What will you do? Fill me in. Lost my husband to alcoholism. He never made amends to me or my children. Oh, Karen, I'm sorry. My best friend in Oklahoma one day stopped talking to me. I have no idea why. The one day, a different friend posted about a teacher who had ALS, that they were having a fundraiser. I couldn't believe my eyes because it was my friend. So I finally got in contact with her to realize that she was dying. Told my husband I have to get to her before that happens. So we drove all the way out there to see my son, and I found her house, and I got to say my goodbye, and it was the best decision. I've been in Al-Anon for 12 years. I'm reading a book called Unoffendable. It's an amazing perspective. It helps a lot with anger, Christian based, so it might not be for all of you, but I loved it. Yeah. Yeah. I am disabled, and I'm curious about this. It means my people can't do steps. A 12 ramp. I get it. He can't do 12 steps. You see what he's doing, Tracy? Tracy, he's a comedian. It's very funny. Tim Grill. I just ended a 45 relationship this year. With who, Tim? I just lost one of my friends because of addiction on Friday. He was only 48. Yeah. Well, I think, I think it happens all the time, every day. I think that when those relationships break up, you think, oh my gosh, I'm a horrible person. What do I do? I think, all of us don't ever want to feel like somebody's mad at us. We did something. But, sometimes relationships just become just not really in your control. Do not speak. My mom has no idea what she did. It's heartbreaking. Yeah. And I think in those moments, I think that at some point you just have to kind of honor yourself and be able to say, like, I'm here, I'm coming to the table, and I would love for you to come to the table. But if you won't come to the table, then I can't do anything else but move on. And yeah, I think that those are really, and I don't think people ever talk about it because you feel somewhat shameful about it. You're just like, I don't know what I did. And yeah, I need to make the call. People don't understand. My daughter, who has anxiety and judges, easier to walk away. Yeah. What happened? Why are we talking about it? I miss this. I don't know how we got here, Crystal, but it was, I don't ever know how we get anywhere, but I just wanted to, address, I don't know why I started talking about that call I got. My best friend, John, who I grew up with, our relationship toxic over the last 10 years, and I finally realized it was best to walk away. Yeah. Yeah. My second husband and I are now best friends. We just couldn't be married. Yeah. Got it, Sharon. Yeah, I think it happens a lot. They were actually, there was just an article that was saying that there are more people estranged from family now than ever. And it makes it sound like there's like so much more anger, right? Or, I don't know, strife in relationships, right? Because when we were younger, if you were estranged for someone, like it was like, like big deal, And I think it is still a big deal because I think it's awful. I think family and friends should always try to work it out. But I think a lot more people talk about mental health issues, and some familial relationships and friendship relationships just aren't good for you. And I think that knowing yourself and knowing what you're going to allow to come in and what you're saying, no, I can't do this roller coaster anymore. Or I can't, I need to, I think that there's a lot to be said about a peace in your brain, in your heart, in your soul. Yeah, I think a lot more boundaries are set now. Carmen, a lot of stuff happens in that. It's not chapter 4. It's just chapter 4 of this set of 4. It's not, I don't want you to be like, I'm going right to chapter 4 because I have no idea what chapter 4 is. It's just in this particular series. You'll know, Carmen. You'll know. Oh, Marie, don't roll your eyes out. Oh, one was for a second. Thank you. I'm gonna hang out here. All the fellas. Marie, I'm gonna give you a hug when I see you. Oh, we were talking about spats with friends. That's what it was. And if Chris and I ever have had spats, yeah, the older I get, the more peace I want. My ex never got far working the steps, but he never worked them for the right reasons. My oldest wrote him a letter to tell him how she felt about his choices, and him, but told him she loved and forgave him, and he couldn't even give her what she needed most to respond before he died of cancer. Jennifer. Hopefully your daughter feels that at least she was able to get that out for herself. And sometimes that's the biggest thing. You know, they say, like, if there's no part of you that wants to talk to the person, it's so valuable to write it down, get it out of your body. You know, like journaling. That's when we were talking about journaling. There's just something important about, you know, getting it off of your chest, off of your soul, out of the, don't let it reside in that space in your brain anymore. Just get it out, put it to paper. I know that my one girlfriend was just carrying some stuff, and I was like, we're going to write it down and we'll throw it in the ocean. I mean, metaphorically, I don't want to litter. But I was like, we're going to leave it. It's just going to go and not stay here, and put it in a fire. Do a dance around the fire. So, yeah, set it out into the universe. So anyway, so if you can, keep us BNC in your prayers today as she kind of goes through some things. She's probably going to be there until mid next week. So we will be bebopping back and forth. And all of the things. And it's Wednesday, y'all, which means it's hump day. So you're halfway through the week and almost to the weekend, which will be lovely. Yeah, I'm going to try to go start flipping this house and get things done here. But hopefully you have something wonderful planned today. It's supposed to be beautiful, at least here in New Jersey. And probably most of the East Coast, I'd imagine. It's some beautiful weather. So if you'd like to send a card, Andrea posted our P.O. Box, P.O. Box 604, Morristown, New Jersey, 08057. I think you can find our address on the store as well. And that's it. I hope everybody has a great day today. And like Judy from Saskatoon and Good Time Andrea say, do something nice for yourself or others. And thanks for watching. And stay tuned because hopefully we'll be hanging some wallpaper soon once I get to catch my breath. But that's coming up. And Turtle Mama, thanks for being here. So have a great day and a blessed day. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning where I hopefully will be a little bit more on time, but who knows? Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One Funny Morning.